UFC Seattle Adesanya versus Pyfer has just wrapped up, and I know you guys are here. I know why you guys are here, and I know a lot of you guys are here because you guys thrive off like seeing someone when they're down. Cool. Listen, bro. Um, yeah, this fight was a bit frustrating for me. I'll be real. Like this fight, more so than others for Adesanya, it was probably the most frustrating for me. Um, that I've watched. You know, it's hard. It's really hard once seeing your favorite fighter like steadily, like you're watching them kind of like go on the decline. You know, it's upsetting. That's always the upsetting part. The frustration comes in when you realize how much better Adesanya was than Joe Pyfer. Like watching that fight, watching the first round, watching Joe Pyfer struggle with those takedowns early on, getting stuffed, watching Israel Adesanya have a field day when he was executing a really good game plan to begin with. You know, he was executing a great game plan to begin with. You know, I was like, he did his homework. He saw Jack Hermanson destroy Pyfer's front leg and piece him up. He's doing the same thing. This is where the frustration for me comes in, is when you abandon the game plan to brawl just for fun. Like listen, I saw Izzy, I watch like all of Izzy's interviews. I understand Izzy says things along the lines of like he doesn't care about results anymore. He just wants to have fun. He wants to try things. He was trying things. Trust me, he was going for like some inside trips. You know, he was going for like, I saw him do the Sugar Sean O'Malley look away punch. He was trying to have fun, and you love to see it. But when you abandon a game plan that guarantees a win to like have fun, that's where the disconnect for me personally starts to be like, that's a little bit frustrating. That's where the frustration part comes from, because I think anyone with eyes saw that Joe Pyfer had no front leg by the end of that first round and that started the second round. Joe Pyfer was nearly dying in there on the feet. Like it was like, I think everyone thought, okay, eventually Pyfer's going to either get leg kick TKO'd or he's going to have no front leg. He'd be limping. He'd be trying to switch stance. He'd be a sit and dunk for Israel Adesanya to start unloading off with, you know. I thought this was going to be like a vintage Paulo Costa-like performance where he pieced up the front leg. Costa got frustrated, came in, got counterpunched. It could have been that. But when Adesanya started to see him break, instead of like continuing to attack the front leg and follow a game plan that was literally guaranteeing his win, he just gets sloppy for no reason. Like he was just essentially standing in front of Joe Pyfer trading. And I understand he was saying things like before that, like, I just want to make this a fight. I get that, but why sacrifice the easiest win of your career? Damn near. Pyfer, like at the start of the round, he was missing with it. Like he was so predictable, throwing that straight punch like everyone knew he was gonna do. You know, shooting takedowns and feeling like most people knew it would probably go like that. You know, he was struggling with Izzy. Izzy was just picking him apart. You know, prime Izzy. I will say this: there's a distinct difference in Izzy's like head movement and the way he avoids shots. I get it. Like trust me, I get it. That's been happening since the DDP fight. I noticed like he kind of just leans back. You know, he's not as sharp. He doesn't move as quick. I get that. That comes with age. I understand that. But that doesn't change the fact with a firm game plan, he still would have been good. Because I think the first round, he actually was following the game plan pretty soundly. He wasn't taking absurd risk. But there was points I literally thought that he wanted to get hit from Pyfer to feel something, to feel some type of energy so he could just swing back. And that's when I was like, what's going on, dude? Here's the thing about some fighters. Like, we see Volkanovski come back and win. We see Kamaru Usman come back and win after skids or whatever. Usman had a 3-fight skid. He came back and win. Why? Usman followed the game plan. Could Usman have went against Buckley and said, you know what? I could take him down for 5 rounds and beat him, you know, 4 rounds to 1, maybe lose the 5th. But let me just go in there and have fun with Buckley. Buckley's a power puncher. Screw it. Let me go just trade with him for 5 rounds straight just to feel something. Usman would have lost to Buckley if that was the case, you know. Volkanovski could have said, you know what, let me just go in. I'm 37 now. I'm just trying to have fun. Let me go in there and let me just brawl. You guys know how Volk sticks and moves. He could have just abandoned that game plan against Lopez, even the rematch, and just brawl with him, and he would have lost probably or got caught. With age comes responsibility. You know, usually with fighters who still stay on the top as they age, they still have the fight IQ. Now, I know Adesanya has the fight IQ because I watched him in the first round and even like a little bit of the start of the second round. But Adesanya made a choice in this fight to have fun, and then he started losing. And that's the frustrating part. Like, no one could tell me that Pyfer was ready to stand with Adesanya for 25 minutes. You know, and even the reason he got taken down is because Israel Adesanya punched him. damn near punch himself out, just doing flashy shit like look away punches, like just jumping into these stuff, sitting in front of Pyfer, just making it a brawl unnecessarily, guys. I was honestly watching like, what's like, why is he doing that? It's like you're doing so good and you abandon your game plan, and Pyfer is not good. I hate to say it, Pyfer is not good. He did not look good in that fight. He looked like someone who's failing takedowns considerably. He had a 33% takedown accuracy going into it. It's not like his takedowns are great, but he was just failing a lot of takedowns. Couldn't find the range against a taller, rangier opponent. He was missing a lot of his shots. A lot of them came close, trust me. That might have been because Izzy's like slow, head movement as he ages. But most of those shots were missing. There's even some I thought were landing. I looked at a replay after the first round. They were missing. They were just, I was like, okay, so he wasn't even landing those. His best moments came from, like, I guess sometimes he would exit, like on the exit of the clinch. But even those were missing. To be honest, thinking about it right now, his best moments were literally coming from when Izzy was like, fuck it. Let me literally stand in front of you with my hands down so I could hit you and you can hit me and we could just have a firefight. Guys, this was frustrating for me. Guys, the whole build up in this fight, I was keeping my mouth shut, I'll be real. But I think I got to be transparent and tell you guys how I was feeling about like how Izzy was. I love that Izzy was embracing the moment, but like how Izzy was so buddy with Pyfer. It felt weird. That felt weird as well. It was like, even after the fight, he was taking pictures with Pyfer. And then like he had the whole thing about like his post-fight interview. It was just like, it's like seeing a different person. Like Izzy's not in the sport to win anymore. And I guess that's like tough for a fan. Now, I'm not saying winning's everything, but I'm saying winning's everything. Fuck it. I got to say winning's everything in the sport. And I'm sure me and Izzy would disagree on this. He's not going to think winning's everything. He's going to just think like, no, going in there and just performing and having art. That's what I'm here for now. But it's like, what does that do for a human being if like they're going into a fight to embrace it and just have fun? I'm not saying I don't know if Adesanya was going in there to win, because I'm not saying he was going there just to have fun, but I reckon Adesanya believed in his head if he goes in there and just has fun and just has a firefight, he'll eventually break Pyfer, because he was like expecting Pyfer to break a little bit or wilt a little bit. But my thing is like and I don't know what his coaches are telling him, but my thing is when you had a first round that was flawless and you saw his front leg was compromised, was the corner saying, just listen, just have fun? Or were they saying, stay on the low kick, he's going to break in a couple more, you're probably going to drop him with the low kick if you continue with it? But he completely abandoned his low kick game and was like, I just want to brawl for that second round, and that's why it ended the way it ended. Dude, like I said, he was brawling, and then that's what led to Pyfer getting the body lock in on him. And Pyfer's strong. I knew Pyfer was going to have the strength advantage. I actually wasn't surprised when Pyfer got him down that he was able to control Izzy. Pyfer, from what I've seen from most people, when he even gets in a dominant position, he does a pretty good job controlling them. On the ground, like the strength difference was significant. And most of Izzy's fights, when he's flat on his back, he like never really gets up. I saw that in the Blachowicz fight. I saw that in the Pyfer fight. Even the DDP fight, I remember when he first took him down, he was like landing a little bit, but Izzy like had a thin waist, so he kind of turned out of it. But he couldn't really turn out of it. He had a chance where he tried to scramble and outwork him, but Pyfer's size just kind of mogged him, And then he was in full mount, so he had to make the decision between full mount and giving his back, and he was rotating a couple times, defending the choke. And then he eventually got to a spot that like he wasn't, not like he was rocked or like hurt, but like he's not going to get out of it. It wasn't a bad stoppage, It's just like the whole reason that whole scenario came was because Adesanya just decided to abandon his game plan. Yeah, it's frustrating, man. Like it is, dude. This is not even time. Like I don't think anyone in the world disagrees with this. Like I think everyone probably agrees that like Adesanya just wanted to trade, And yeah, but like it's weird because I feel like Adesanya should retire. Like I really do feel like Adesanya should retire after this, But Adesanya said when he was talking in the post fight, smiling and all that. And I'm not saying don't smile during a lot. Like I know it sounds like I'm being a bit critical. I'm not trying to say don't smile when you lose or something, but he seemed like he was okay. He didn't really care, he didn't care. I care. And I'm not saying he didn't care about winning, but it seemed like he didn't care after the loss. But you're not supposed to hang your head low. I don't want Izzy to be depressed. I don't want Izzy to be upset. And maybe I'm a little bit depressed, but maybe I just invest myself a lot in this and I care a bit too much maybe. But it's like taking pictures, smiling, saying, I'm going to be back again and again. You can never get rid of me. Listen, wins. He's literally said, I'm pretty sure he said in his post fight, like, I don't care about wins. Like, it's not about wins. I'm going to keep showing up and I'm going to perform. Something like that. when he was talking to DC, and nothing can like he's gonna keep coming back again. And it's like this is like given. I never really seen a fighter. I never really seen a fighter like do that. You know, maybe like fucking I don't know, dude. I don't like. Yes, there's fighters I see show up for like a check, like Kevin Holland and stuff. Izzy not showing up for a check. Izzy showing up because he still loves the game. I feel like Izzy does love the game. He loves fighting. He loves, especially lately. He's been loving just fucking fights. But he went into this fight clearly superior to the other guy. Clearly had a game plan that was working. He abandoned it for what reason? That's the disconnect, eh? That's where I have the disconnect. That's where the problems for me start to commence. And I'm like, okay, so what really are you in it for? So it's going to change my opinion on Adesanya fights in the future as far as like I know Adesanya is probably not going to fight with the stupendous game plan. But I want to say this because this doesn't happen usually, guys. DDP, I really feel like he fought DDP according to a game plan. Sure, you could. I thought he was going to fight DDP the way he fought Costa and like the way he looked like he was going to fight Pyfer where he was like abusing the leg kicks. But he fought DDP trying to invest in the body. You can see it in his boxing because he saw DDP is usually sloppy and tired in a lot of his fights. So he thought he could zap the energy from the body shots. And it wasn't a bad game plan, but DDP was just working too hard. And Mavov, it seemed like he had the game plan down. What was different from Mavov and Pyfer, they both have good boxing, right? Good hands. Izzy wasn't boxing a lot with Mavov. He wasn't. He was actually throwing a lot of kicks, low kicks, body kicks, head kicks. He wasn't really boxing with Mavov at all. He was just stuffing Amavov's takedowns. He would create space and look to go back to the kicking game. And that's why he was outpointing Amava for the first round and even doing great work with the kicks in the second round before the eye poke and the knockout. But in that Amava fight, I want to just point out the fact that he was fighting according to a game plan. This is the only time I've ever saw Adesanya do this, which is why it's probably like catching me off guard and I feel kind of sick to my stomach when I think about the fight, is that he wasn't fighting according to a game plan after the first round because he was chasing a moment. He was chasing a moment, a bit irresponsible in his pressure. Not a bit. Like, he was literally, dude, like the way he was swinging with Pyfer, and he almost finished Pyfer in the second. Don't get me wrong. There was a moment, I see why he was jumping on that, but it was like, man, it was scary to see because Pyfer would land shots and the way he was showing up against the fence, looking for like Pereira moment to like emulate that and like repeat it and stuff. It's like, I guess in essence too, it's a mix of him abandoning the game plan and a mix of like he's obviously not the same as he was, guys. Oh my God, guys! Look at the round one stats. I'm gonna show on my camera. Look at Izzy. 37 total strikes to 9, and he went 1 out of 4 in the takedowns, and it was at the very last round. Like I was like chat. Like how my feelings in the first round was crazy. Let's look at the second round stats. I'm gonna do it live so you guys can see it. Look at the difference in that. I know obviously some of those total strikes were on the ground, but like you can see like 21 is probably like 21 to like maybe 21 to like maybe 15 or something. But it was a lot closer on the feet. And why was it a lot closer on the feet? Because he seemed a little bit more willing to like, okay, let me stand in front of you and trade. But round one, the striking differential being 37 to 9 is letting you guys know that Izzy was fighting according to a game plan for that first round. And I just don't like how he abandoned that, man. Something I will lose sleep over. Something it's like it's hard to see when your favorite fighters aren't chasing wins anymore. I really think no matter who you are or what point you are in your career, you should always try to win a fight. You should always stick to the game plan. And it wasn't like the first round was boring. It wasn't like a switch of game plans. Like, dude, I've been seeing some of my favorite fighters. Like Mobs are just fighting like an idiot. Dude, I'm not fond of people abandoning game plans. For some reason, it triggers me. I don't know what it is in me when I know a fighter's a lot better and I know they could clearly win, but they just don't want to win. It's a little bit frustrating because I'm like, why don't you want to win? I hated this performance. I hated everything about it. I hated that I was gaslit like it was gonna be a masterclass, and then the guy was like, Izzy was like, fuck it, I don't want to win. That's what I hate. So it's very frustrating. Like even and Joe Pyfer, my opinion on him changed in a negative way. I thought Pyfer was gonna be better. Oh my God, I thought Pyfer was gonna be better. I was worried because I thought Pyfer was going to be quicker. I thought Pyfer's was going to have crazier power. I thought even his wrestling, even though at 33%, I thought he was going to be like, he wasn't going to get fucking damn near all of them stuffed. I will say when he got him on the ground, it was kind of roses. It was roses and bubbles for him. But Pyfer, I thought he was going to be more scary. I thought he was going to be more forward on the pressure. But once Izzy got to his leg, all the nerves, like I still had nerves the whole fight, but the nerves, like I was like, oh my God, it's that easy, isn't it? If Izzy, like when Izzy was fighting, I was like, it's literally that easy to beat this guy, huh? It's like, it's that easy? So in my head, when I'm prepping for that easy masterclass, and then all of a sudden the tide shifts, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't want to see Izzy fight anyone. I don't want to see him fight anyone after this. I don't. Like, there's no fight that intrigues me. Because stylistically, can Izzy probably beat the guy he's going to be paired up with next? Yeah, he probably could. But is he going to win? How am I? Why the fuck are you asking me that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you asking me if he's going to win? How the fuck am I supposed to know? You know? Because is he going to win if he fights his game plan? Probably. Would he beat him up? Do I think he would have beat him up if that went 5 rounds? Of course he would have. Do I think stylistically he could beat DDP in a rematch? Sure. You know, sure. Do I think he could beat a lot of these other guys? Sure. Like Brahalo, I literally thought Izzy would kill him. Now I don't know anymore. Like now, no one. Izzy is turning into a gatekeeper. I hate saying that. He's a gatekeeper, essentially, is what he is. He's a gatekeeper who tests people's resolve for about a round. Like, that's the narrative that's trying to form, you know? I don't like that, man. I'm not fond of, like, that. He's just so much better than what he's giving. You know, this is not hate. This is more like a cry for help from my part. As well as, like, I just wish things were done appropriately. I don't know what his corner is telling him. I wish I could get a insight on Eugene Behrman. Like, what was he telling Izzy? Was he telling Izzy, like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing? Like, was he trying to tell Izzy to like, stick with the game plan, or was there just no comms? Like, did Izzy not know Pyfer's leg was hurt? Like, there's a lot of things like, I legitimately, like, you would think Izzy would know his leg was hurt, but why start boxing like that? You know, like, there's things that, like, the desperation takedowns off of the leg kicks when Izzy was stuffing, and then Izzy was stuffing, and instead of going, like, backing him up, maybe landing a jab, going back to the low kick or something, he would just like start jumping into strikes. You know, something Izzy was also doing that he never done in any fight before. Maybe it's because he's worried about the takedown threat. But even DDP has a takedown threat that's more imposing than Joe Pyfer. Even fucking Imavov had a takedown threat. Izzy was leaning forward. He was like hunched forward. Like hunched forward. Like I keep thinking, like the more I think about it, I'm like, he was like hunched forward waiting to get punched. And then, like, when you're hunched forward like this, now you have to lean back. But it's like, Izzy usually leans back, right? When he gets attacked. He was, like, hunched forward, but he wouldn't, like, move much. He would, like, let you throw when you, like, try to eat it and then throw back. So it was like, why is he just standing and, like, I don't know. And that, I don't know if that was game plan or Izzy just fatigued horribly. I don't know what happened. It's been a year. Maybe it was a bit of ring rust, but Izzy just didn't seem like he wanted to win this fight for me, you know? And it just, yeah, I don't think Izzy wanted to win bad enough. That's what it struck. I want to know what people are saying. I'm not like, I'm kind of avoiding Twitter and Instagram because I'm seeing a lot of notifications. I know they're going to be clowning me or whatever, reaction or whatever. You know, there's some things, you know, it's just like, I don't really want to deal with that. Yo, oh yeah, this is the end of Kenny. I'm just ending my channel. Nah, like, dude, it's like, I'm good off that and stuff. I don't really want to check. I do want to check the sequence again of like why, like rewatch the fight again. But then again, I just want to kind of take a break. I'm not saying I'll take a break. I'll be back. Of course, I'll be keep dropping videos and shit. But it's like, is it the wins like fights like this? It's just like, it's frustrating. I'll be real. Very, very frustrating. I thought Izzy was 10 times better than Pyfer. I think Pyfer, like I said, he sucks to me. Like he honestly is not good to me. I don't want Izzy to keep fighting because I'm going to always care about Izzy. He's a guy he's the reason I make videos. Without Izzy, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. I'll be transparent. I wouldn't have became a content creator. I wouldn't have started doing this shit. So Izzy's definitely helped my life out for the better because, you know, he's helped me make channels and shit. But it's like one of those things where, you know, he's fighting not to win. And I don't, like, if you guys saw my live reaction, like how nervous I was before the fight, I hate doing that on camera too. But I was nervous. I hate how that goes for me. Like I'm just emotion, like I'm just not emotional, but I'm like nervous. And then the fight happens and I'm getting like, I always get happy before it's like Izzy fights are the same way for me lately. I haven't seen it. You guys never see me react to Izzy win reaction. You're never going to see it probably. Let's be real. But all of them are the same. From the DDP fight, I was happy. Oh my God, Izzy's shitting on him. Then I'm upset. He gets choked out. In my fight, oh my God, Izzy's doing great work. Then he gets knocked out. Oh my God, Joe Pyfer fight. Oh, he's literally gonna kill him. Izzy's game plan is perfect. Then he gets caught. You know, but this one hit different. Like I said, the Malva fight had stipulations. Oh, eye poke, maybe that cool. DDP fight, I don't think it was bad. I think DDP just had fire that burned longer, and he was more game than Izzy. He was ready. He was more ready for Izzy. Pyfer, it seemed like he had everything figured out, but he still fell short because of the choices he actively made in the fight. no, I don't think anyone in the world could actually convince me Izzy fought to win. And if you can, well done. He's obviously declining. Of course, that's evident. But even like Izzy was, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't want to say what percent he was at. Like, well, I can't say that was 50% of Izzy, because the first round looked about like 100, like 90, like 80% of what Izzy could give at his age at 36. Second round looked about like 10%. Like Izzy wanted the fight to finish. It was like Izzy needed the fight to finish there. Maybe another theory for me, I know I'm ranting. I'm sorry, guys. It's probably going to be a long rant. But a theory for me is that maybe Izzy just didn't have the endurance to keep going. So he just wanted to lay it all in the second round, because that's how he was fighting. He was fighting like this was the last round. Am I mistaken? Correct me if I'm wrong. Did this not feel like it was like the last round, like the way he was fighting? Because like how would the third round have looked? Probably more sloppy. Maybe he thought he had to get Pyfer out of there. Frustrating for me, eh? Frustrating for me. Pyfer beats Izzy by round 2 ground and pound, after Izzy seemingly looked like he was the most unbeatable person on human earth for the first round. Not even unbeatable. He looked unbeatable to Pyfer. Pyfer was not good, and Izzy lost his soul on Pyfer's level. Congrats to Pyfer moving up the rankings. Stylistically, Pyfer could actually be a problem for other people, but like I feel like his lack of activity which is the reason I went to the Izzy pick. His lack of activity, it seems like it's still kind of there. He seems still kind of one dimensional, like he only has a straight punch. He was throwing it. He was quick. I remember the first one was really quick, but like, yeah, and grappling didn't look too bad. Like his takedown accuracy, I still don't rate it that. I don't think his takedowns are that good. He's just a strong guy. But when he gets on top of people, he tends to do good work and get finishes. He did it to Abus. He did it to Izzy. So shout out that. Even guys, I'm getting a fight. I'm starting, like, every single time I talk, I keep thinking about more portions of the fight. I remember when Pyfer had Izzy's back. Izzy looked like helpless. It was weird. Like Izzy looked like he was so tired. Like, I remember just seeing his face when Pyfer had his back. I'm like, something's off. Like, I don't know, man. He fought this fight like, dude, this felt like a retirement. The way he was getting emotional, like looking at the crowd and that ceremony and weigh-ins, his walkout, the way he entered the ring, how buddy he was with Pyfer, like, why are you like hugging and kissing him before the fight? And then the way he like accepted the defeat and was like so happy for Pyfer, and it's like, listen, I gave him a shot, he earned it. I wanted to just go in here and feel something, and that's what happened. I don't really care about results. Like, saying shit like that, it felt like a retirement to me. In my head, mentally, Izzy did retire against Joe Pyfer on March 28th? Yep, or March 29th on midnight, depends. But yeah, March 28th, he retired against Joe Pyfer in my head. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stop supporting him. I just know he's mentally checked out. He's not going into fights with the intent to win. And now that I know that, that's going to reflect my picks in the future. I'll be honest. I expected Izzy to fight to win, which I think was my biggest mistake going into this one. I probably shouldn't have expected that, because it wasn't like he was hiding that. He kept saying, I just want to have fun. I've been looking at my old footage. There's some stuff I don't do anymore. I'm like, I just want to enjoy myself, He's like, and he pretty much says things like, he doesn't say he's going to go in there not to win, but he's like, I just think if I'm having fun, I'm the best in the world. So maybe he thought he was the best in the world tonight, but he lost to Joe Pyfer with that mindset. So yeah, it is what it is. Joe Pyfer gets it done. Very frustrating watch for Izzy. I ran it a bit, but I guess we'll talk about the rest of the card. I could just talk negatively about this one the whole day, but it's all good. Israel Adesanya gets finished by Joe Pyfer in the second round, and Joe Pyfer didn't make it look easy, but he gets it done, and that is what it is. Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber. Great win by Grasso. Embarrassing loss from Barber. Another fight I got wrong. Grasso looks sharp in the counter punching. Very weird shot. It was like a straight punch that dropped Barber, and then like she gets jumped on with a choke. Very upsetting for Barber. I didn't think she faked the knockout, but like I remember like thinking to myself, that's kind of awkward, like the position she's in. Like, it looks a little bit fake, but I don't really care. Chiesa versus Nico Price. Best retirement ever. Couldn't have rid up a retirement better than this. Pretty sure Nico Price tried to retire and still his moment. Nigga, like, you got choked out in like the first minute. Got taken down and choked out. Embarrassed. Shout out Michael Chiesa. Great career. Erosa versus the Brazilian Taporia. Lerone Douglas is actually a dog. I did say this was the biggest lock on the card because I did think he was going to go in there and knock out Erosa. He did just that. Great performance by Douglas. Yeah, great performance. Nothing more to say there. Douglas is definitely a dog. Shout out Erosa for getting dropped by 5,000 jabs. Yusri Belgari, this is arguably one of the best people in middleweight right now. I think he's a top 5 middleweight skill for skill. I think he's hard to take down and hard to control on the ground. I reckon he actually beats Joe Pyfer. I reckon he beats both people in the main event. Honestly, he's that good to me. So if Adesanya is number 4 and Piper's going to pass him, he probably beats Pyfer too. He should get a step up in competition. He really impressed me. This guy's really good. He fights according to game plan. You know, he's going to throw the low kicks to actually hurt your leg, and he's not going to stop once he sees it hurt. He's going to keep going to it. He knows when to mix in the boxing. What he did against Abdul Malik, which I wish Izzy did, was that he broke the foundation of Abdul Malik. You know, once he saw that Abdul Malik couldn't walk on the leg, he took smart boxing exchanges. It wasn't like he was running forward like an idiot against Malik. See, it sounds like I'm taking a shot at Izzy, but it wasn't like he was like running forward, standing in front of Malik. He was still using his head movement, still moving well. Of course, he's a younger guy, but he just fought according to a game plan and broke down Abdul Malik very easily. The strike totals was a 107 to 16. You guys got to look at that shit. That's what happened. That's what it would have looked like if Izzy fought Pyfer appropriately. The strike totals would have been crazy, you know. Like I said, Pyfer landed 8 shots in the first. Izzy nearly landed 50. Like, just let that sink in. But yeah, Belguri fought according to the game plan perfectly. He schooled Abdul Malik like I thought he would. So well done to Belguri. Terrence McKinney, my guy, he said he's going to fight smarter. I don't know if he fought smarter, but he got it done in 24 seconds. So shout out McKinney, securing me some bread with that first round finish. My guy. Ignacio versus Tofik. Tofik cheated his way to his victory, grabbed the cage a bit, you know, which changed the whole trajectory of that fight. Ignacio is good, but like he has no urgency off his back. He's kind of frustrating as well because he's a very tall, talented striker who's very skilled. But I will say that, you know, he doesn't really know how to get off his back. Like he creates space, which is great. But after he creates space, he goes for like an armbar and submission. Some people use submissions to scramble. Ignacio needs to learn how to do that. He has like his shin against their fucking chin, and he could like literally roll out of that and try to create a scramble, but he's okay off his back. So shout out Tofik for just taking advantage of the position and cheating and headbutting, and he did a good job cheating his way to a victory. But to be fair, Ignacio deserved to lose because he was showing no urgency getting off his back. Chase Hooper versus Lace Gibson. Chase Hooper looks like a dimwit trying to strike. He gets caught and knocked out. I don't really care. Tybura versus Fortune. It's a pretty stupid fight to me. I did say Fortune was going to win. He gets it done. Yeah, he's not bad. He's just not really good. Not really much to grasp from that. O'Neal Fernandez. WMA's fighters just said today that they're going to go in there and finish people. Casey O'Neal, Alexa Grasso. Casey O'Neal gets it done. Kind of finishes Fernandez against the fence. That kind of surprised me. That was after a big layoff as well. Nigel Sterling fought according to a game plan, which got him to finish. He broke down Lopez. Fought very smart. Fought very accurate, and he got it done. Shout out Nigel Sterling. He's actually pretty solid. I know people give him a hard time saying the fight was a little bit and he's kind of but I think he did pretty good, and I reckon he's actually going to be pretty good in the division. Of course, his boxing defense not the best, but he does a good job with distance management, so that helps. Ricky Simón Yanez. I picked Ricky Simón to win. Ends up being a draw. I will tell you right now, Yanez probably won that fight as someone who said Ricky Simón or picked Ricky Simón to win. But one judge gave it to Simón, the rest gave it a draw because they gave Simón the first 2 rounds and Yanez a 10-8. First of all, Yanez' last round wasn't a 10-8. Second of all, because like Simón almost finished Yanez, like they were going back and forth until that like last second drop. That should not give a 10-8 round. But that being said, I thought it was rounds 1 Yanez and round 3 Yanez. So even though I picked Ricky Simón and I didn't get the pick right because it was majority decision, even though one judge gave it to Simón, I don't think he won. And every judge gave him the first 2 rounds, which was a little bit stupid to me. Dayanar versus Brazil. I heard it was a good fight. Didn't watch it. Dayanar gets a win. Got that pick right. Listen, man. Overall, interesting card. Frustrating card for me. Wasn't even a bad card finish-wise. There's a lot of finishes on this one. But knowing how good one person is and seeing them underperform to their abilities is a bit frustrating. You know, seeing someone not caring whether they win or lose is a bit frustrating, but so be it. Adesanya just doesn't have the drive in him to like fight for wins anymore. Not a big deal. It's just that I really feel like that is a sign to retire. But let me know what you guys think about this fight. I'm curious on your thoughts. That's it from me. Have a good one. God bless. 2, 3, 4.